In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove the love blocks, friendships blocks, meeting your high vibe friends blocks, the things that are blocking you from actually meeting and gaining the connection that you want in your life. This video is going to be a game changer for you. I'm going to show you exactly what I did, what I've seen thousands of people do to really create the internal shift to finally allow your soulmates, your soul family, your high vibe tribe into your life. Now, right now I'm in Costa Rica. It's so beautiful. Let me show you some of the view here. I'm at an Airbnb. We just recently got done doing a retreat here. We do these retreats in Costa Rica. And one of the things that we hear so often from people that come to the retreat is we'll have like 40 people there and people come from all over the world. By the end of the retreat, a lot of people say the very same thing. They say, I never knew that there were people out there that would really resonate with the real me. I never knew, I thought for a long time that I had to walk this path alone. I felt lonely, I felt like the lone wolf. And now I know that there's people out there that can see the real me, feel the real me, and really I've connected with at a deep level. And that kind of inspired this video, to be honest with you, because I look back at my own journey and it's so clear to me now. You know, I have my high vibe tribe in my life, I've got soul family, I feel like I have very deep connections in my life now. And it's come as a result of some of the internal shifts that I had to make, because back in 2012 when I went through my spiritual awakening, I was so excited to share all this new information that I was learning about spirituality. I was at the time working at Nordstrom's and Women's Shoes. I started studying and learning meditation. All of a sudden I'm into like mantras. I was into like Vedic, like Hindu mantras and stuff like that. I remember like sun gazing and doing like these kind of, like a wink, I went vegan and started like losing a whole bunch of weight and doing all of this stuff back in 2012. And family was all concerned about me. Friends were concerned about me because I was like losing weight and, you know, not looking as healthy. That was one thing. Another thing was like I was just talking about meditation. I was kind of like ungrounded. And then also it didn't really help too much because back in 2012, I was convinced that we were going to ascend into a higher level of consciousness on December 21st, 2012. Big learning lesson for me, let me tell you. However, believing in all these things, no wonder there's some people in my life that thought, what the hell's happened to Aaron? He went from like ADHD, drinking, smoking, and just kind of like being the way everyone expected him to be, to all of a sudden meditating, stopped drinking, stopped smoking, started losing weight because he went vegan immediately, and all of this stuff. And what ended up happening is I then felt kind of rejected. I felt abandoned in a way. I felt like, you know, I'm here excited to share all this exciting information with people, and what ended up resulting is like friends even calling my family and say, what the hell happened to Aaron, you know? And I'm like, what? They just don't get me. And I started to wire in this belief system, and I started to believe, you know, maybe I am meant to walk this path alone. Maybe I'm not meant to have like people in my life that really understand me, or like it's not going to be the way it was before, because before the people that I surrounded myself with were friends of like high school and stuff like that, and people that shared similar values as me at the time, and that was kind of like drinking, smoking. It was me. It was a complete reflection of where I was at the time for growing up. And then once I started changing my values and changing what I was into, that's when like some of that started to fall away. And sometimes you can be afraid of like things changing, because there maybe is, it's almost like we're avoiding, like maybe the truth is I'm not meant to be with other high vibe people. I'm not meant to like find love of someone that really resonates with me at a deep level. And it's almost like we're afraid of that abandonment wound. That's what I was afraid of. So for 2012, 2013, I remember I just, very, very lonely year for me. Not having people in my life that really understood me. I worked at Barney's New York, or Nordstrom's, then I quit. And then I kind of just lived, I lived with my mom, and I was at mom's house with my brothers and sisters, and just kind of like was doing this spiritual awakening thing, but like wasn't connecting with anybody else. A lot of my friends that kind of fell out of my life. My family, some people in my family thought I went nuts. And I felt alone, I didn't know what to do, and I developed a certain belief system as well at that time, where it was like, people don't get me, and one of the reasons they don't get me is because they're just not woke. It was like this kind of like spiritual ego in a way that I didn't want to look at the time, but I was like literally believing like that people just were asleep in the matrix in a way. And that's why, like, the reason I'm not connecting with people is because they have a lower vibration than me. And that was a very toxic belief that I had for a period of time because of that belief, by the way, guess who I attracted in my life? A complete reflection of that self-fulfilling prophecy. That just there was a judgment that I had that just everybody is just doesn't understand what I understand. They don't get me. It feels so surface level, talking about these things I'm not passionate about. When really what it was is I was judging other people and putting people on this like scale. It was like they're high vibe, they're low vibe, you know. And most people weren't high vibe, so I was like, oh, I'm just lonely. I'm just meant to be alone on this path. And because of that, I ended up in that box of like judging other people energetically, which made it harder to connect with people, and had this just solid belief system that I'm just meant to be alone on this path. And what really changed a lot for me was when I actually dropped the belief that I meant to be alone, dropped the belief that judging other people. And because I was starting to realize that my beliefs create my reality, and that when I realized that I was believing in that, that was my block. And one of the best ways that I recommend people attract love, attract a high vibe family or whatever, high vibe tribe, is when you change your values. You attract people based on the values you have. Values are kind of like virtues you live by. And back in the day, as I've gone through my spiritual awakening journey, I lived according to certain values back in the day that I do not live by now. And once you go through a spiritual awakening, your values really do change normally. Because you might value eating unhealthy food, you might value alcohol and substances, you might value being around certain types of people, and then all of a sudden your values change and you realize, oh, I actually don't have as much in common. You may also like value your own boundaries more. You may value expressing yourself more. As you start valuing different things, you'll notice that certain people might fall out of your life. And guess what? That's okay. That is a part of the process. The key is to not try to hold on to it as it's happening. To not try to control the situation and realize that there's something wrong that's happening. And it's about really living according to your own values and virtues, because that's going to be an equal reflection of what you attract. When I used to sell women's shoes, the kind of women that I dated were normally people that were working 9-to-5 jobs. 9-to-5 jobs they didn't like, because I was working a 9-to-5 job that I didn't like, and I valued that. Even though maybe it's like I didn't value it because I would have rather, you know, done what I loved for a living, I would have rather valued that more. That wasn't actually in my energy field. It was like there was an addiction maybe to even like working the 9-to-5 job, bitching about it to my coworkers about how slow it was, and then I'd also attract women into my life that also bitching about their 9-to-5 jobs, and we could just like kind of like be in that energy together. Because we shared similar values. We shared similar energy, that's what we believed we also deserved. And when I started going after my purpose, and I started making YouTube videos, that changed everything about my energy. That raised my vibrational energy, and I started living in more alignment. And then I started making daily videos, my YouTube channel started to grow, and as that happened, as I energetically stepped onto my path, I started to meet other people that energetically were on their path. That's when I met my best friend, Victor Otto. That was because we were both on YouTube making videos, and as we were starting to like really get in the energy of our alignment of like who we are, we then energetically met up with each other back in 2017. And I think that's really the way it works. And then also, the women that I began dating, like the women that were in my life after my spiritual awakening, were only people that were doing what they love, because I was doing what I love and I valued that. So you attract people into your life that are one-on-one reflection to the values you are currently living by. As you upgrade your values, you will upgrade that of the experience of your reality. Another example is like we do these plant medicine retreats in Costa Rica. As we've all gone through our own transformations, and even the crew, the team of us that like facilitate these experiences, we've upgraded our own level of integrity, and like how because we've grown, it's then grown how we do this space, like how the space is ran, the structure of everything has begun changing over the last like couple retreats, because we do these like 3 times a year. And every time it changes a little bit, but now we're making some pretty drastic changes because it has to reflect the new level of integrity that we're living by. So it's like we're all upgrading, and that's upgrading the space. So literally everything in your reality is a reflection of the energy you are embodying. And as you upgrade your own integrity, you'll find that sometimes people may fall out of your life. You'll find that as that happens, you might be a little afraid. You might be trying to control it. You might be trying to like hold people in. But the key to that is realizing that as you upgrade, a natural part of the process is letting go so that you can actually make room for the new. And that's a part of spiritual awakening and this process that's sometimes scary to people because people believe, they develop stories around the people that they've been connected to before, and they believe that these people they're connected to before, they're never going to find somebody else that's that kind of connection again. Happens so often, especially in the spiritual space, where people develop these belief systems around twin flames and soulmates and soul families and divine unions and all these labels that give so much weight and so much meaning to these things because they're concepts that people then stay attached to. And once they attach to it, what really happens is they're afraid to let that go because they're afraid they're going to let go of that meaning. They're afraid they're going to let go of that kind of connection and believing that there's nothing else like that in the world. When in fact, everybody that is in your life is a reflection of the kind of what you're learning and is in a way a soulmate, is in a way part of your soul family in the moment. And if you live like that, you're going to find that you also connect with people at a much deeper level. However, the thing that makes connecting to other people more challenging is believing that you're meant to walk your path alone, believing that there's no one else out there like you, and realize this, that's just a belief. It's a belief, it's something that you've bought into because at one point in time it was safer to buy into that belief than it was to accept that maybe just at the moment, now's not the time. A lot of times we'll try to avoid our own abandonment wound. We'll try to avoid things in our life, and we'll try to rationalize it. And the way we rationalize it, is this isn't just a belief that I have, that there aren't high vibe people out there, that I meant to walk this path alone. It's not just a belief, that's the way reality is. Because it's a little bit easier to believe that than it is to like really go within and to realize that that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The keys, though, that I've learned in my life is to really going after my passion, going after my purpose has been a game changer because then I started living to a higher sense of ideals. Having vulnerability to express the real me has also been a game changer. Through different levels of my spiritual journey, I've had to express the real me. And that was sometimes scary. That means sharing with people my emotions and how I feel. That means being direct with people. That meant dating someone, actually expressing, hey, I have feelings or emotions for you, or I'm attracted to you. The nice guy version of me back in the day was very afraid of saying that because I was afraid of rejection, was afraid of being abandoned. But I was also hiding the real me. And maybe in your life right now, is there any way that you're hiding the real you? Is there anything you could express in your life? Maybe your passion, maybe sharing more vulnerable side of yourself with other people. I think deep down all of us are just a little bit weird, or a lot weird, but we're afraid to show that. And when we're afraid to show that, we're actually holding people back from getting to know that side of ourselves. And when we do that, it really opens up so much in other people, and it's real too. So meeting your soul family, meeting your high vibe tribe, is about really just recognizing the limiting belief and the negative belief that's been there for maybe a long time, that has held you to believe there are not people like that out there. You are meant to walk this path alone or whatever it is. Realize that's just a belief. It's something you've bought into. And realize there are a lot of people out there that share similar values as you. However many people you see watching this video, there's at least that many people. However many people you see subscribe to the channel, there's at least that many people because they resonate with the values. They resonate with the content of the channel. And that, I guarantee, like when we do these events, it's so cool to see because so many people share similar values and they know that they're into the same kind of things. Normally they're committed to their spiritual journey. They're focused on elevating themselves. They're focused on becoming present, their own energy. Like these are things that happen. Now, something to really wire all of this in and something that I'm doing starting August 15th, is something that is called the Magnetic Mastery Membership. This is the accountability, the group, and the coaching for you becoming the highest vibrational you. Every single week, I'm going to be going live, doing breakout groups, connecting everybody together, doing live meditations, and coaching people live every single week so that we can remain accountable and also on this path of elevating our vibration to the highest level. But in that group, you will see, at this moment, hundreds of people because we've only opened it to the early bird founding members. And August 15th, it opens to the public. So if you want to connect, meet your high vibe tribe, work every single week, you know, month in, month out, it's something that you can join on August 15th. There's a link below. You can sign up to join the wait list to check that out. And that's something in a very powerful way to be in a monthly container with people going through that of transformation. The craziest thing is when we open it up, it's only going to be $29 a month, cancel anytime, for weekly calls, all of this stuff. So sign up below if you haven't already, if you want to check that out. Also, if you want a video that's going to help you understand more about shedding this image, this self-conscious, this self-image that we have of being the lone wolf, this video right here will change your life. If you're seeing this video, then you are meant to be here. You can take it as a good sign that you probably are and consider yourself the lone wolf in your family. And I'm going to show you in this video how you can finally meet your soul tribe, how you can release the beliefs and the energy that